have you here. Okay, team. Hi. Welcome to functional fitness training. So, pieces of equipment that you might need or are optional today are these three things over here. Gliders, you can also use a plate or socks if you want. Squishy ball or pillow, really, I'm just doing today narrow hinges. So if you want that extra core activation, it can help to tuck something there, but you really don't need it. You can get all of that by just keeping the legs together. And then an optional band in which we will do some payoff presses, but you can do that with a weight as well. So optional equipment, otherwise something light, something heavy. I really encourage you kind of taking out the heavy items today. So go big, go heavy. So that is what you need. Let's just kind of start jumping into class by crisscrossing the arms. We got a lot of things on the chopping block for today that I will tell you about, but I want to get you moving. So open and close the arms. Take a nice deep inhale. We made it to class. Congratulations. Everything down here is downhill from here, yeah? Maybe in some ways. Okay, big arm circles. So let's talk about what we're doing today. So as we're doing the arm circles, we are focusing today on mobility as usual up front, 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to go a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and reverse the arms as we go, as I'm talking about this. We're going to go a little bit longer mobility today, and we're focusing on hips and back. You know, standing hips and back. We're actually going to start on the floor, and then we're going to come to standing. Okay, let's start to warm up that low body, standing on one leg. Go ahead and just give it a little swing. Then for our strength sets today, we're really focusing on hip stability and core work. So yay for the people like me who are really working on that, and yay for the people who are kind of going back to fundamentals and following along with that too. I'll give options to progress movements, but kind of stick to your journey as we go. So other side, go ahead, swing that leg. This is just our general warm up. Timing intervals today. It is 3 to 4 exercises. It's really a mega circuit to start. Four exercises, going around in a little circuit 3 times. We're gonna have 1 minute worth of work, and I'll break it up in different ways. Don't worry how we're gonna break it up. I will take care of that. Let's take it to our squats down low, and then to finish class, we are gonna go into some core circuits on the floor. So that's the whole shebang. If you wanted the whole shebang, if you didn't want it, then just let that fly right up off of your head and just focus on the squats right here. Just happy to move. Breathe. So sticking the hips back, we will be doing squats today. So go to your low range, stay there, and then come on up. Make sure those knees feel good. So go to that pain-free range, keeping that torso slightly up, but leaning forward. About 4 more of that. 4 and 3, 2. We're gonna go to reverse lunges, so make sure you have room behind you. Most that weight in the front foot. Big stride back and alternate. Big stride back and alternate. Arms kind of come along for the ride. They can go in opposition or go together. I want that front leg doing most of the work. Nice, y'all. Warming up the ankles. We're gonna get everything head to toe. More hip mobility today, but general head to toe warm up. 4 more, and 4, 3, 2, and let's take those legs wide for our side lunges. Reaching the hips back, alternate. Good. So a couple options here as you go side to side. You might notice you have the opportunity to add a slight pivot. Not about touching the floor, about keeping that spine nice and long. If you want, open up the opposite arm just to kind of get that little chest stretch as you reach. Reach. We're opening up the hips and back today. So part of that is going to be going for thoracic rotation as well as hip stability. So each time, let's go slow and a little lower. 4 times. Here we go. Down, down, down. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Then come on up. 3 more times that pace. Other side. Down, down, down. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Come on up. Okay, let's go. Other side. Down, down, down. Inhale, exhale, breathe. Coming back center. We're in round 2. Other side. Take your time getting there. Enjoy being down there. Coming on up. Last time this side. One more. Then we're going to go to the floor. We're going to start on the floor today for the most part to warm up and isolate the hip movements. So floor or standing. So these are the things we're going to do. First one is a thread the needle. So if you're standing, anything you can do is on a couch or a supported surface instead of a plank. Otherwise, everyone come on down. So first on one, hands underneath the shoulders, feet on the floor. You're going to take one hand, reach it up to the ceiling as far as you can, might not be very high. Thread it through. And then go ahead, repeat that movement. Let's start that together. We're doing it 30-second chunks today. This is a key number. Let's go. So our circuits are 1 minute long, but just like our warm-up, we're gonna do 30-second chunks before we kind of switch sides. So thread the needle, know how that elbow bends to get you down, and then press and it extends to get you up, right? So I'm coming closer, you keep going, reach in opposition. And then when you come down, there's a slight bend when you thread the needle to get the extra deltoid. Now push and reach. Inhale, exhale, and try to get the shoulders away from the neck. Head up, head up. And other side, okay. Second half, hands underneath the shoulders. On the floor or not, let's go ahead and reach. Reach in opposition, there, and then thread it on through. Inhale, exhale, try to find the places where you're pausing. So why we're doing this for hip mobility. Notice when we're on the floor or grounded, our hips are centered, right? So whenever you're doing things to day-to-day movement, the thoracic might move, but the hips are stabilized, right? So the upper back is part of the hip stability we're going for today. About 2 more. And last one. Wherever you are, if you're a supported surface, bring those elbows to that surface or on the floor, feet together here. We're going to do plank rocks. So you're going to rock towards the tippy toes as much as you can, and then rock back into a flex foot position. Again, so rock, bring the hips forward, rock, bring the hips back. Notice how my shoulders are moving slightly, but not much. Forward, back. This is warming up our core, great for the hips. Forward, back. 3 more times. And breathe, and 3. Back, back, back. 2. Yummy, yummy. Last one. And ground it down, child's pose it back. So a little different today. We're starting on the floor, getting the core and hips warm, and then we're gonna come on up in a little bit. Stay on the floor or your supported surface. This is a quadruped position. Stay there. One knee comes off the floor, draw a circle. So it goes out, 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 in, and down. Let me change directions for you. Again, same side. Out, 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 in. Draw a circle. Yes. You're taking your hip through that full range of motion here, making sure that knee comes in, out, and up. Something I'm really working on myself is to try to make sure that that hip doesn't open as you do that. So try to keep this part flat as you go around, right? It's going to be teeny tiny movements for some of us. 30 more seconds to just practice that, y'all. Going around. Hands stay underneath the shoulders. Oh, getting juicy in the hips. Tiny but mighty movement. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and change directions. So now you're on all fours. Knee. Other side, okay? Other side. Start to draw that hip circle. Gotta get on do not disturb here. Spam callers. We all have them. Okay, keep focusing. 30 more seconds to go. You got it, team. Keep that head up. Try to make that circle as big as possible while keeping that hip down. Easier said than done. 3, 2, 1. Okay, take a break. Child's pose it back. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're just gonna go the opposite direction now, right? So we did one side and we did the other side, hopefully. If not, just switch to the other leg. Now, if you were bringing that leg out to start, I want you to bring it in, back, and up. So you're drawing that circle the opposite direction, really pulling that hip in now. Internal rotation through the hip. 30 seconds, let's get it started. Ready, set, and we're on. Flex that foot if you can. It will give it a little something extra. Back, out, and in. Such a tiny movement, but so powerful. This is working on internal exterior rotation of the hip. Goodness, circular articular rotations. Ooh, say that 5 times really fast. Circular articular rotations. So good, so good. And let's switch legs now. So other leg, same thing, just reverse the directions. On our marks, get set, here we go. So it goes back, out, and then draw it in. Really spending some time here. Take it slow. It's going to increase the depths of your squats. If you're a runner or a hiker, increase your ability to kind of go in complete hip flexion when you're stepping on top of something. Keep going, about 2 more circles here. So the reason why I started on the floor today is because we're going to do this standing. And when you're on the floor, relax. Just take note, when you're on the floor, right? There's not a whole lot you can move this hip. But when we come to standing to practice this, you're going to try to keep that same movement, okay? So everyone come up off the floor. We're going to diversify a couple things first before we go to the standing version. Let's go inchworm down and up. Some of us were already inching up and down. So just continue that. Go to that low squat, come on out, come on back in. If you're going for wrist flexion today, you're just pulsing. 30 more seconds here, keep going. Taking that time to really get that ankle work, because the ankles, believe it or not, keep the hips happy. The more you can go into ankle flexion, the more you can get low in that squat, deeper squat, more hip mobility. 5 seconds to go, team. Now everyone stay in a plank, whether you're elevated or not. We're gonna go to downward dog, come back to the plank. Downward dog, come back to the plank. We're gonna be here for about a minute, so take breaks as you need. Let's start with our feet wide. So you're dropping the heads, pushing the chest forward, and coming back to standing, whether you're elevated or not. Feel that stretch on the back of the hamstrings, y'all. That keeps the hips happy too. We are halfway. Keep going. If you want, bring the feet narrow now, the second half, and repeat that movement. Downward dog, feet together. Plank, feet together. Downward dog. Back to plank. Just enjoying that flexion and extension of the hips. 3, 2, 1 of the ankles. Okay, now come on together, team. Standing tall. Let's kind of recap some of that movement we were doing, but standing now. Everyone up, standing on one foot. Now this is where we're practicing our balance with the hip rotation. So draw the knee up, 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 as high as you can go. Keep it there, hips even, go out, out, out. Might get a little bit of cramping there, and draw that circle. Up, out, and around. Keep that foot flexed. Let's do 3 more. Up, out, and around. Put your hands on your hips if you need to have a marker to keep the hips even. This is all hip socket work. Woo, last one. This direction, right? We're gonna go the opposite direction and relax. So now let's just reverse that. Go down, 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 down. Hip extension, out, oh goodness, and in. Again, keep going. Back, 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 back. Keep that hip where it is. Now open up, try to turn that knee out. Bring it on in. 3 more like that. Da, 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 da. Juicy, juicy rotation. Boom, 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 boom. Get it in. And then push it back out 2 more times. By now, that standing foot also might be like, I'm on fire. That's okay. Oh, we only have 1 more. Goodness. And shake it on out. Okay, same thing other side. Get that knee up. Here, push it on out. And here we go. Rotate outwards, keep the hips even. Draw it on back. Draw that circle. So we've already done this on the floor. We're just adding an element of hip and ankle stability by keeping it on the other foot. Woo. One side is so much easier, for me at least. Most people have a different side. Let's do 1 more, going around this direction. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Keep it there. When it's sticky, and reverse it. Okay, knee up. Draw it back, 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 back. And draw it on in. Woo! Again. We're doing about 5 repetitions here if you're counting them. 3 more. Up and out, 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 out. Goodness. 2 more. We're taking the time today. Lots of time with the hips. Woo, they're gonna love us for it. And last one, draw it back. There. Oh goodness, juicy, juicy, juicy. And let that go. Shake out the ankles, team. Okay, we're gonna have 2 feet together. We're gonna go to a low, 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 low squat here. Then coming on up. So you're going as low as you can, keeping the ankles on the floor. For some of us, we might be way down there, right? We're warming up the ankles and going to as much of the hip flexion as we can before we come on up. So down, 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 slow. Find the sticky spot, stay there. Be mindful of the ankles. They're not rolling in at that sticky spot. Both legs push straight up. Keep it even, important for hip stability and core stability. Both sides are working nice and even. Down, 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 hold. And 3, 2, 1, come on up. Let's do 3 more of those. Down, 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 hold. And come on up. 1 more. And then last one, I'm gonna ask you to stay down there, but just flip the hips up, drop the head, and hang. Woo! Grabbing the elbows if you want. So from here, you're in this flex position. You're gonna have little mini squats, little mini hangs. Little mini squats, little mini hangs. However much you hang over is up to you. This feels really great for a lot of people to just release that back tension. So if you want, come to hip width distance. We have 30 more seconds. Hip width distance, squat, squat, squat. And hang. Squat, squat, squat. And hang. Yes, team, releasing through that lower back. And last one. Relax, okay. We've been on a long hip journey. This is the last stop on the train. Wide feet here, team. Take 1 foot, reach it towards the opposite direction. The back foot is kind of angled. Some of us might know this as warrior 2. What I think of it is as a side lunge with my foot kind of pointing the same direction of that lunge. Here, you can hold or nook that elbow down on that front leg, reach and draw it on back. For some of us who feel topsy-turvy in that, just have a seat on a couch nearby. Out, draw the elbow back. We're getting our adductors here. Those tend to be tight on most of us. So it might feel stiff. Use the chair if that's speaking to you to get you a little bit lower. 4 counts, here we go, and 4, 3, 2, goodness gracious. I can feel the beads of sweat just starting. Woo, other side. And we've been doing isometric mobility. It's still a lot of work. Okay, other side, set it up on your chair or get that side lunge, nooking going. Ground the foot, nook in the elbow to the upper thigh if you want. And here we go, big reach, elbow pulls down. Pinky reaches to the opposite corner and pull the elbow down. Good. Breathe in. Should feel good. Nice, last one. Use that leg to get to standing and come to standing. Okay, told you a little longer on mobility today. Grab a little water if you want. I'm gonna tell you the circuit that's coming up. So the circuit, the first time you're gonna see it, is gonna be like a hello. Maybe you've never seen it before. But first exercise, heavy weight, asymmetrically loaded. This is work on hip stability and core, because when you go down, I see a lot of people, the side they're loading, do this. So I always tell them, think about the side you're loading has to work a little harder to push it back the opposite direction. So get that weight. We're gonna do asymmetric squat for 30 seconds. Then we are gonna keep that weight on that one side and either travel walk or travel lunge. Oh, for those of us who might not have much space, it would be a travel reverse lunge for 30 seconds. So it's a 1-minute set. Each minute, 30 seconds of one thing, 30 seconds of another optional thing, okay? That's where we're gonna start at. 1 minute, we can do anything for a minute, or at least we tell ourselves, yeah? Let's start it on up. Ready, set. Going heavy on this, medium to heavy, and let's just start with a squat, down and up, down and up. Same side that you're loading is you doing a little more work. Yeah, has a little bit more pushing into the ground to stabilize. That weight is top loaded on the shoulder. It's resting. Careful not to chicken wing rest. Tuck that elbow right underneath the weight. That's where it's going to be nice and stable for a neutral wrist, okay? Down and up. Good team, we have 5 seconds. You can either stay at that squat or travel. Ready, set, 30 seconds to go. Here we are. Okay, maybe you've already started that. So you're either traveling, walking, or travel lunge. Same side. Take up the space if you have it. Big lunge forward. Whoa. And relax. Okay, can we try that on the other side? Lots going on there. For round 2, we're a little more familiar. Start with the squat. Second side, load it. Ready, set. And here we go. Squat down and up. Same leg. Working a little harder. Think at the bottom. Am I even? Look at the toes, look at the knees. Then push up. Good. Check in with that elbow. Is it staying close and under that weight the whole time? Nice and stable for that wrist. Believe it or not, team, this is an equivalent to a side plank. You might not feel that same burn, but you know that it's working because our hips aren't going like that. It's a slower twitch muscle group that we're working here. Okay, we're over the halfway mark, start to travel. So you're either walking, carrying it like this, or like this for the last seconds, or lunging. The hold is optional. You can be rack carry or farmer carry. 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, team, second exercise here. Narrow hinge to row. Grab 2 heavy weights. Feet together. Hinge, stand tall. Hinge, stand tall. Remember, first 30 seconds is one movement. Second 30 seconds is a movement that we add on optionally. So this is unique because the feet are together today. Narrow hinge, stand tall. Go pretty heavy on this one. Coming up on our halfway mark, stay here or hold it. Add a row, double row and hold. This is hinge row, narrow, spine is long. So these are the two movements we're gonna start with. The first squat thing, squat to travel, and then hinge to row. That's the mini heart circuit we're starting with. 10 more seconds in that hinge row. Just think, the hardest part, the first time seeing it is done in 3, 2, 1. Relax, okay? Let's reloop it. Asymmetric squat. Let's get that top loaded. We already seen it. Now let's dive in a little deeper. Ready, set, and here we go. Squat, hips back. And we know now we get 30 seconds of love to squat it out. Then you go to the travel, hold, rack, or side carry. Travel, lunge, or carry. Coming up in 10 seconds. 5 seconds now. Get ready, team. Travel. So, rack carry, rack hold, farmer hold, or lunge it. Weight stays on the same side. It will tend to tip you over. Try to stabilize through the hips. Negotiating stability. Keep the hips even. 10 seconds to go. Relax. Okay. Same thing on the other side. Rack load. Getting started in 5 seconds with the second set of squats, second side. Ready, set. Here we go, and hips back. The key today is symmetry. Most of us will say, this side feels different or this side is harder. The goal is not to have symmetry, but to notice what feels different and which side feels harder to stabilize, and try different things to get it up to the other side. 30 seconds, get ready, go and travel. Carry or lunge. Here we go. Big steps forward if you're traveling. Maybe you only get one big lunge in there, or go for that reverse. Torso stays even though the legs alternate. 5 seconds to go, team. This is round 2. And relax. Okay, 3 sets. Last set. Top. Nope, narrow hinge. That was not a pop quiz. That was how hard we were working. Ready, set, here we go. Hinge it. Narrow hinge. Let that hip push back. So key one on this one is you're not really tracing the thighs like we normally do. We're keeping them straight down from the shoulder. That will keep your shoulder open. At the halfway mark, we're gonna stay there and row. Option in 3, 2, 1, hinge hold and row. This is where, when we do our 3rd set, you might want to see if you get a little extra core work by milking the ball in. You could do it now, but I'm just throwing that as an option out for round 3. This is round 2. We have 10 seconds more to go before we go to the top and do more squats. Yeah, so stay, pull, relax. Okay, last set. I showed you the little spice you can put on top at the end with the hinge row, but we're starting at the top with the squat. Ready, set, here we go. Down and up. This is the round, last round of squats, so you can go and kind of use up what you got here. Go heavy, dial up that pace a little bit. 15 more seconds till we go to the lunge or travel. 10 seconds, more of a squat. 5 seconds. Get ready to travel in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Wrap hold our farmers. 15 seconds to go, team. Keep alternating with the hips, legs. Make it a fusion. Play with it. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Switch sides. Okay. Squat second side. We're seeing the whole shebang. Let's finish out strong. Squat second side, third round. Here we go. Beautiful control in the finish line. 10 seconds to go before we travel. Have fun with the travel. Mix it up, forward, back, lunge or not. On your march, get set, go. Let's go. Weight stays the same. Lower half moves. Lower half moves. "15 seconds to go, team. 10 seconds now. Goodness gracious. Oh, get into the sticky stuff. So good, so good. And relax. Narrow hinge. Narrow hinge. Remember, feet together or ball option. Ready, set, go. Down and up. Down and up. Parallel. Arms. Boom. Coming up on that finish for the last 30 seconds, team. Here it is. Hold it down there and pull. Keep that head up, elbows right by that rib cage, and we're just going up and down, up and down. No big, we've been here before. We're gonna finish out strong, 20 seconds to go. Taking each 10 seconds at a time. Five seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, okay. So you kind of saw how in this workout today, 60 seconds long, first half is something, second half is an extra element we add in for stability and core work. We're gonna continue that. Optional glider, grab some water. If you're watching, feel free to muck it up along with me. If you have a hardwood floor, you're gonna want your socks. If you have a carpet, you're gonna want a plastic or paper dish or a glider. So it's a reverse lunge with a curl. So first 30 seconds, just focus on the down and up reverse lunge. If you don't have a glider, sock, or whatever, you wanna keep your shoes on, just go for that repeat reverse lunge. Yeah, double dose of lunges today. That's how special our hips are. Then in the second half of the 30 seconds, option 2, stay in that lunge, curl it up, curl it up. It's asymmetric, which is purposeful. So I double, it's easier for my hips to stabilize. With one heavy one, my goodness, it's gonna try to knock you off balance. You could stay there, or you can come to standing kickstand, boom, boom, or one leg up, boom, boom. As long as you're working hip stability, that's what we're here for. Choose any of those options. Then the second side, lunge to start, stay down, or one of those variations I just showed you. That is exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is where we're gonna have our payoff. So that's where you're gonna want your band. We're pulling up asymmetrically, or one beautiful heavy weight will do the same thing, wide feet, high to low, okay? The extra we add on, balance. Ah, that gets interesting. So think of that as a TV movie trailer, and then you got to try it to see what you like, okay? So we're going to go into reverse lunges. Grab something medium to heavy, but something that you can curl. The 30-second mark, you can always swap out a different weight, okay? All right, let's get it started. Ready, set, and here we go. Glider. Tuck that under a foot. Optional weight, go back and down. Reversing that lunge. Just repeating that. Nice, team. At the halfway mark, we're gonna celebrate a little hip stability by adding a curl asymmetrically, either in a lunge or standing. Ready, set, here we go. So you're here, hello front foot, hello standing foot. Palm facing the body on this one. Other hand is only supporting if you need it. Some of us like lean here and curl. Extra core challenge if you release that hand and really use that core to keep you upright and stable. I know, this is core and leg. And relax, other side. Especially after all the squats, it's a special form of love. Special form. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. Start with the lunge. Let that tension go in the upper chest, and then use that front leg. Here we go. Glide it back if you want, or step it back. You got that glider. Think about that back foot pushing into the floor as you stand tall. Drag it back in underneath you. Now we'll just add an extra core element. Friends, without a glider, you just go a little heavier and you will get the same thing. Okay, we're at our halfway mark. Halfway. Here we are. Hold, curl, add that support if you want, or give yourself that stability that you need to work on that hip stability. Whatever it is, one arm moves, hips stay the same. Arm moves, hips stay the same. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're doing payoff. Medium weight. If you're doing this weighted, you're going here, pressing out as far as you can, bringing it back in, okay? If you have a band like me, likely gonna wanna double it up if it's light. Ready, set, here we go. Wide feet, slightly hinge. Press it out straight, bring it back in. This is really active recovery, unless you're going super heavy. Whatever weight you're going for, I want your low abdominal wall to feel like it's grabbing. If you feel back here, too heavy. If you don't feel anything at all, too light. Find the sweet spot. As far as you should extend, this low abdominal wall should be grabbing. Take this time to play with the weights. Because for round 2 and 3, you're gonna want the one that's optimal for you. And last one, relax. Let's switch it to the other side. I'm gonna speed things up here a little bit because these ones, since we're doing 2 sides, it's gonna be more like 40 seconds. Load up the second side, hinge it, ready, set, and here we go, press it out. Second side, gonna be working the shoulders a lot more. Note how when you press out, that core is pushing in. If you find yourself going and actually pushing out, that's a sign that when you pick up things in daily life, you're letting your core not have so much fun with the work, yeah? Exhale on the hardest part. Good, about 10 more seconds. And last one, release, okay. All right, team, next set. We're going down in the timing here. 30 seconds at a time now. 30 seconds, just throw it together. Curl lunge, no half-half, throw it together. Institute that flow. Get it all set up with your glider. On your marks, get set. Here we go. 30 seconds aside now. Down, bring it up. Down, bring it up. So we worked on the stability. We broke it down to holding. Now we're just flowing it out. Good. We got 10 more seconds on the side. There will be minimal transition because in 5 seconds, we're just gonna shoot over to the other side. In 3, 2, set it up, go. Second side, lunge curl. Getting it all today. 20 seconds now. Beautiful. Use that front leg. Yes, team, 5 seconds to go. Woo! 3, 2, 1. Payoff press. 30 seconds aside. Remember when I said you're gonna wanna know what causes that core to grab? Set it on up. On your marks, get set. If you want, knee up. Yes, here we go. Yes. We talk so much about the core work. Don't forget there's an option to lift the leg. I'm good here. 30 seconds. 15 seconds to go. Till we switch to the other side. As far out and as far in as you can control. 5 seconds to go. Switch it. Other half. Knee up if you did the other side. Or 2 feet. Finish up the second side. So team, after this 20 seconds, we have exactly 3 more minutes worth of work. Optional on the floor. It's gonna be a dolphin push-up to a bridge tricep extension. 2 times. Now we have been working about 45 minutes. So if time is calling you, relax. I want you to start stretching. If you're able to follow along with me for 3 more minutes, roll your mat up. I'm gonna have a blind timer for these. It's gonna be 40 seconds at a time. This is our core finisher here. So you can be up, elevated or on the floor. Elbows on the floor, nice soft cushion. A dolphin plank is when you are starting a plank position on your elbows. You're gonna walk your feet up 2 steps, rise the hips. Head goes down, and then on the push-up portion, your chest comes towards the forearms, then push back up to the dolphin. So think of it as a downward dog to chest to forearms, okay? If that's not speaking to you, you can just hold the downward dog the entire time. That will be very strengthening for the shoulders and lengthening for the back, right? We're working back hips. That's why we're doing our dolphin push-ups. It's gonna be 40 seconds at a time. I will let you know the timer. Ready, set. Here we go. Dolphins. Set it on up. Start in a plank. Walk the feet forward, downward, and now add that chest drop to the forearms. Hips lift. Chest to forearms. Hips lift. Let that head come with you. 20 seconds in here. 20 more seconds to go. Keep the elbows narrow if you can. 10 seconds now. 5 and 3 and 1. Relax. Okay, second exercise. Both doing these 2 times. 1 heavy weight. You are bridging on up. That is hip extension work. Then option to take a weight up and overhead. Elbows narrow, tricep press. I'll give you a second to shimmy. Breathe. Let's get it started in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hips up. Hands move towards head and up. Now, I'm going to show this unloaded. If you want, you can have a single leg tricep press. Single leg extend, tricep press. If you're really working on hip stability, the marches might be enough, but wherever you are, I want that hip to stay flush and extended. 10 seconds to go. Focus on what speaks to you today. And 3, 2, 1, relax. Second set, dolphins. Last set, dolphins. Big core finisher right here. On your marks, get set, and here we go. Downward dog or dolphin. We're on, hips up, chest to biceps. The further you walk the feet in, the more challenge it is to push and drop. Good job, team. You're 30 seconds in, 10 seconds to go. And 5, 3, 2, 1, and take a second, shake that all out. Okay, flip it. We know bridge, tricep, or march. Getting it started. Everyone lifts the hips. Grab that option weight if you want, and go. Focusing on core and arms. Move that hands towards the head. Focusing more on hips today. Keep the hips even as you extend. Want to focus on both? Shebang. Shebang. 20 seconds in, team. Beautiful, beautiful work today. Just double down in that hip core stability. We got 10 more seconds more of that. And 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, stay on your back here. Option to take a band if you want, if you can't reach the knee. Pull it on in, we're stretching now. Or take your hands underneath the kneecap, extend that opposite leg, and just give your knee a hug. Breathing here. The work is done. Take that knee across the chest. Add that slight pivot rotation. Feel that release through the piriformis. Woo. Let that hip drop away, way from the torso. 2 more breaths. And other side. We made pretty good time. Like 50 minutes. Deep dive in the mobility, core, up, down. Good job. Other side, giving your knee a hug or using the band as feels good. Let that hip drop away from you. So what I mean by that, let me give you a visual, is most of the times when we hug our knee, this hip comes up. So see if you can kind of, even if the knee is not as high, that's why the band might help. Drop that hip away. It might give you an extra different type of stretch. Same thing as you take it across. So now let's take that knee across. Most of us tend to hike. Round the hip. Let that leg hang over as feels good. And then just relax into it. 4 deep breaths. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming onto all fours. Feet are a little wider here. You can do the standing, it's just a wide squat. And just let the hips reach back, head down. 4 breaths here, and 4. Slowly taking your time to come on up, team. You can do this seated or standing. Remember all those articular rotations we did? Well, the stretching version of that is just crossing your leg over in a figure 4 or having a seat and then letting that chest come forward. This is really working the internal rotation of the hip, flexibility through that range of motion we built. Give it nice deep breaths. And other side. We won't do it today, but if you wanted to work on switch sides. If you wanted to work on your internal rotation, stretch. You guys stay there. I'm just going to show you if you want to do your extra homework. You would get that in the 90-90. So that's where the foot pushes into the floor. And now this hip is internally rotating and working on that core stretch. Probably one more breath in that figure 4 on that side. And relax. Let's take it wide. Nook the elbows in. Nice and even through the hips. Let that head drop forward. Really lengthening through the back, the entire spine here. You could be seated for this to really relax into it. Let's leave it a nice 4 deep breaths. And 4. 2. And 1. Coming on up tall. One hand up and over for all that tricep dolphin love we did. Slowing down the heart rate. And other side. Really be loud with your breathing. Let it all go. The work is done. Okay, let's take it up, down and up 3 times. I really want to focus today as we reach, thinking about the internal rotation, external rotation of the hip being even. So let's do this together. We're gonna go a wide sumo squat. Really reach down, check that you're even in each side. Reaching up from there, going up to the tippy toes, even, and let it go. 2 more times to practice that hip mobility as we go down and up and down. Take it all in. And let it all go. Last one. Big reach. Take your time. And up. And let it all go. Give yourselves a hand. Really great job, team. Thank you for those who stayed after a little bit. I know we got a little deeper into the